Welcome to this second part of IR spectroscopy. So today we will be covering the topics vibrational frequency, factors influencing vibrational frequency and fingerprint region. We will try to interpret some IR spectra of some important compounds, and we will be discussing starting with fundamental vibration modes. As we know that in the previous lecture we have discussed about fundamental vibration modes. So here this is a glimpse. You can see that there are two types of vibrations. One is stretching vibrations and the second one is bending vibrations, right? So this movement, these are the movements through which you can see that how many fundamental vibration modes are possible. So under stretching vibrations, we have discussed there are two types of vibrations. One is symmetric stretching and the other is asymmetric stretching. So symmetric stretching shows that the bond length is changing but the bond angle is constant. So here you can see symmetrical stretching is going on. Symmetrical stretching means both the atoms are coming closer to the central atom. So this is, you can see that this is an example of symmetric stretching. But in asymmetric stretching you can see that the one bond length decreases while the other increases. So there isn't symmetrical movement. So this is known as asymmetric stretching. Now in bending vibrations we had categorized it into two. One is in plane bending vibration and the other is out of plane bending vibrations. So in plane means the vibrations occur in the same plane. So there may be two types of vibrations. One is scissoring. Scissoring means जैसे अगर आप कैंची चलाते हैं, scissor चलाते हैं तो दोनों atoms एक दूसरे के पास आते, but it happens in the same plane, right? And this is rocking, means both the atoms moving towards either one side or the other side. So this is rocking. And when we talk about out of plane, so there is movement of atoms in such a way that either both the atoms are moving below the plane. So here you can see below the plane and up the plane, below the plane and up the plane. So both the atoms are moving in that manner that they are moving either below the plane or up the plane, and in that way it is known as wagging. And here twisting means one atom is below the plane and the other is above the plane. So this is twisting. So in that way we can see that these are fundamental vibration modes that we have already discussed in the previous lecture. Also we had a discussion on infrared regions. We can see that it ranges from 12,820 to 33 centimeter minus 1. This is the wave number, right? And here this is the wavelength, and the entire infrared region can be divided into three parts. One is near infrared region, the other one is mid infrared region, and there is far infrared region as well. So here you can see that the mid infrared region is the most important region, wherein you can see that we may observe stretching vibrations of OH, NH and CH, right? So the entire range can be divided into three parts, and this part is the most important part. And here from 2000 to 2250 range we can find triple bonded compounds like C triple bond C, C triple bond N, right? And in this way X double bonds, Y double bond Z, and stretching vibrations we can observe. And from 2000 to 1500 we can observe double bonded groups like C double bond C, C double bond O, C double bond N, N double bond O stretching, and then NH bending vibrations also can be observed here. Then between 1500 to 400, so when we go below 1500, then we can see that CC, single bond stretching and bending vibrations we can observe. So bending and rocking vibrations may be observed, CCC and NCO groups. And when we here in near infrared region we may observe the combination and overtones or overtone bands of these vibrations. So here we can observe only the combinations, overtones. And in infrared region, which may be considered as a fingerprint region, vibrations of molecules containing heavy atoms, molecular skeleton, vibrations, torsions, and crystal lattice vibrations may be observed. So this is the most important reason, right? So when we talk about the functional group and fingerprint region, then we can see that functional group region is the most important region, which is mostly used for the identification of functional groups. And then in fingerprint region, basically we deal with two compounds who are having similar structure, but they're almost similar structure is there, but there are some differences that can be observed in fingerprint region. Here we will see that how application of Hooke's law can be understood in terms of vibrational frequency. So vibrational frequency is given by the application of Hooke's law. So nu bar is equals to 1 by 2 pi c root k upon mu, where nu bar is the frequency, k is the force constant, right? Force constant means it measures the bond stiffness. What is mu? Mu is the reduced mass, which is m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2. If the two atoms are having masses m1 m2, then reduced mass is mu, which is m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2, and c is the velocity of light here. So this is the vibrational frequency that can be calculated with the help of this Hooke's law. So what we observe here is that nu is directly proportional to root k. That means it is related, it is directly proportional to k. So vibrational frequency increases with the increase in bond strength. So at the end you can see that vibrational frequency of a bond will increase as the strength of the bond increases and the reduced mass decreases. So it is directly proportional to k but inversely proportional to mu. So it depends upon k in that manner that when it increases, this also increases, and when mu decreases, this increases, right? So here also we can see that we can conclude that as bond multiplicity increases, like single bond से double bond से triple bonded अगर groups हैं या compounds हैं जिनमें single double या triple bonds हैं, तो उनकी strength चूँकि बढ़ रही है तो vibrations भी इसी order में बढ़ेंगे, right? So single bond के अगर हम देखें force constant, so 5 into 10 power 5 dyne per centimeter है, double bond का देखें तो 10 into 10 power 5 उससे ज़्यादा हो गया. ट्रिपल बॉन्ड का अगर हम देखें तो फोर्स कांस्टेंट इसका होता है 15 into 10 power 5 टाइम्स पर सेंटीमीटर. सो इट इज़ जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ इंक्रीज इन स्ट्रेंथ of the bond, it measures the bond stiffness, so K is also in the same order, and henceforth nu is also in the same order. Here you can see that this is the example wherein you are supposed to calculate the absorption frequency for the CH stretch, carbon hydrogen bond stretch, with a force constant of K. So K has been given. The stretching frequency of CH bond can be calculated with the help of this formula. Nu bar is equal to 1 by 2 pi c root k upon mu. So mu is m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2. So we have used this formula now. And how can we calculate m1? M1 is carbon and m2 is hydrogen. So m1 is equals to carbon, mass of each carbon atom is equals to 12 upon Avogadro's number. So here we have calculated 1.99 into 10 power minus 23 gram is the mass of carbon, that is m1, and similarly m2 we can calculate the mass of hydrogen 1 by 6.02 into 10 power 23, and in that way we get 0.167 in 10 power minus 23 gram. C is the velocity of light, we know 3 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second. So in that way, by putting all these values, we get the absorption frequency, right? Vibrational frequency. So this is an example which covers the calculation of vibrational frequency. Now it becomes very important to understand that how do we interpret the IR spectra, but although it is not that easy, because the spectrum that we obtain is quite complex. So basically with the help of NMR spectroscopy and IR spectroscopy we determine the structure, but IR spectroscopy is very useful, maybe useful in the determination of functional groups. So let us see that what are the factors which influence vibrational frequencies in IR. कौन से ऐसे फैक्टर्स हैं जो वाइब्रेशनल फ्रीक्वेंसी को इफेक्ट करते हैं, घटाते हैं या बढ़ाते हैं. So here you can see the value of absorption frequency is shifted if the force constant of a bond changes with its electronic structure. तो force constant अगर change होगा तो उसी के accordingly absorption frequency भी change होगी. जैसे हमने अभी example लिया था double bond, triple bond या single bond की बात की थी, तो जैसे जैसे force constant यानी bond strength बढ़ रही थी या घट रही थी, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली एब्जॉर्प्शन फ्रीक्वेंसी भी, वाइब्रेशनल फ्रीक्वेंसी भी घटेगी या बढ़ेगी. फ्रीक्वेंसी शिफ्ट्स ऑल्सो टेक प्लेस ऑन वर्किंग विद द सेम सब्सटेंस इन डिफरेंट स्टेट्स. यानी स्टेट्स की बात करेंगे तो सॉलिड, लिक्विड और वेपर की बात कर रहे हैं, तो अलग अलग स्टेट के लिए भी फ्रीक्वेंसी शिफ्ट्स होते हैं. सो अ सब्सटेंस यूजुअली एब्जॉर्ब्स एट हायर फ्रीक्वेंसी इन अ वेपर स्टेट एज कंपेयर टू लिक्विड एंड सॉलिड स्टेट. सो दिस हैज टू बी क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ अस. Besides, there are certain factors which are responsible for shifting the vibrational frequencies from their normal values. जो भी vibrational frequencies हैं उनको shift करने में कुछ और factors responsible होते हैं. उनमें से एक है coupled vibrations, दूसरा है hydrogen bonding और तीसरा है electronic effects. Hydrogen bonding का impact पड़ता है क्योंकि हमें पता है कि जब hydrogen atom present होता है तो proton डोनर और प्रोटॉन एक्सेप्टर दो ग्रुप्स होने के कारण ओवरलैपिंग होती है सिग्मा और पाई ऑर्बिटल की, और उसकी वजह से भी वाइब्रेशनल फ्रीक्वेंसी एब्जॉर्प्शन फ्रीक्वेंसी पर इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक इफेक्ट्स हमने पढ़े हुए हैं, जिसमें से इंडक्टिव इफेक्ट, मेसोमेरिक इफेक्ट की हम बात पहले कर चुके हैं, तो उनको देखते हुए उनका भी इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है। सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दैट हायर वेव नंबर इज इक्वल टू हायर फ्रीक्वेंसी। पहला फैक्टर हो सकता है कपल्ड वाइब्रेशंस। एन आइसोलेटेड कार्बन हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड, कार्बन सिंगल बॉन्ड H बॉन्ड हैज ओनली वन स्ट्रेचिंग वाइब्रेशनल फ्रीक्वेंसी, राइट। जब भी हम CH बॉन्ड की बात करेंगे उसकी केवल एक स्ट्रेचिंग वाइब्रेशनल फ्रीक्वेंसी होती है, जबकि मेथिलीन ग्रुप की जब हम बात करेंगे जिसमें दो CH बॉन्ड्स होते हैं, देन इट शोज टू स्ट्रेचिंग वाइब्रेशंस, सिमेट्रिकल एंड एसिमेट्रिकल। जैसे हम लोगों ने पहले बात की थी कि जब दो एटम्स हैं वो एक दूसरे के साथ बॉन्ड एंगल फिक्स्ड है लेकिन बॉन्ड लेंथ घट बढ़ रही है, क्योंकि हम एटम्स को स्प्रिंग की तरह यानी एटम्स को बॉल्स की तरह और जो बॉन्ड्स हैं उनको स्प्रिंग्स की तरह कंसिडर कर रहे थे, तो इस तरह से मूवमेंट होता है, राइट, स्ट्रेचिंग होता है। सो दो तरह के वाइब्रेशन, स्ट्रेचिंग वाइब्रेशंस हो सकते हैं, सिमेट्रिकल एंड एसिमेट्रिकल, एंड दिस इज जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ मैकेनिकल कपलिंग or interaction between CH stretching vibrations in the CH2 group, right? So this is known as coupled vibration. Asymmetric vibrations occur at higher frequencies or wave numbers than symmetrical stretching vibrations. These are known as coupled vibrations because these vibrations occur at different frequencies than that required for an isolated CH stretching. So CH stretching अगर हम केवल single CH bond की बात कर रहे हैं तो वो एक single वैल्यू होती है, डिफरेंट वैल्यू होती है, लेकिन जैसे ही कपल्ड वाइब्रेशंस हो जाते हैं यानी दो CH ग्रुप्स आ गए CH2 में, तो उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी एंटायरली डिफरेंट हो जाती है। सो अ स्ट्रॉन्ग वाइब्रेशनल कपलिंग इज प्रेजेंट इन कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड एनहाइड्राइड्स इन विच सिमेट्रिकल एंड एसिमेट्रिकल स्ट्रेचिंग वाइब्रेशंस अपीयर इन द रीजन 1720 to 1825 सेंटीमीटर -1, राइट। तो यहाँ पर चूंकि कपल्ड वाइब्रेशंस हैं तो इनका एक स्पेसिफिक रेंज होता है। दूसरा इफेक्ट पड़ सकता है हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग का। It occurs in any system containing a proton donor group XH and a proton acceptor group, क्योंकि इस केस में क्या होगा कि s orbital of the proton can effectively overlap with the pi or p orbital of the acceptor group, right? So in that way there is sigma pi overlapping. तो यहाँ पर हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग का इम्पैक्ट ऐसा होता है कि जितना ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड होता है उतना लॉन्गर होता है OH बॉन्ड, and the lower the vibrational frequency and broader and more intense absorption bands will be formed here. The NH stretching frequencies of amines are also affected by hydrogen bonding as that of hydroxyl group. जैसे OH ग्रुप में होता है वैसे ही NH ग्रुप में भी होता है, राइट। तो लेकिन इसमें डिफरेंट क्या होता है कि फ्रीक्वेंसी शिफ्ट्स और अमीन्स आर लेसर देन दैट ऑफ हाइड्रोक्सिल कंपाउंड्स बिकॉज नाइट्रोजन की इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिविटी कम होती है, इट इज less electronegative than oxygen, so that hydrogen bonding in amines is weaker than that in hydroxyl compounds, right? तो इस केस में हम देखेंगे कि NH stretching frequencies जो होती हैं वो कम रेंज में होती है as compared to OH group. Intermolecular hydrogen bonds give rise to broad bands while intramolecular hydrogen bonds give sharp and well defined bands. So in that way we can see the differences. इसके अलावा इंटर और इंट्रामोलिकुलर हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग को हम डाइल्यूशन से भी डिस्टिंग्विश कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि जैसे ही हम डाइल्यूशन करते हैं तो इंट्रामोलिकुलर हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग पर कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं पड़ता है। सो इंट्रामोलिकुलर हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग रिमेन्स अनअफेक्टेड ऑन डाइल्यूशन, एंड एज अ रिजल्ट बिकॉज द एब्जॉर्प्शन बैंड ऑल्सो रिमेन्स अनअफेक्टेड, यानी एब्जॉर्प्शन बैंड में या वाइब्रेशनल फ्रिक्वेंसी में कोई चेंज नहीं होता है। जबकि इंटरमोलिकुलर हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग में क्या होता है कि इंटरमोलिकुलर हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स डाइल्यूशन पर ब्रेक कर जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से देर इज अ डिक्रीज इन द बॉन्डेड OH एब्जॉर्प्शन. So this is how we can differentiate inter and intramolecular hydrogen bonding with the help of absorption after dilution. The third factor was electronic effect, right? Changes in the absorption frequencies for a particular group take place when the substituents in the neighborhood of that particular group are changed. तो अगर कोई एक कार्बन हाइड्रोजन कंपाउंड है, उसमें कोई नेबरहुड में कोई ग्रुप है या उस पर कोई हमने कोई ऐसा ग्रुप अटैच कर दिया है जो इलेक्ट्रॉन को पुल कर रहा है या पुश कर रहा है इनसाइड द कार्बन बैकबोन और कार्बन स्केलेटल स्ट्रक्चर, देन देयर में भी डिफरेंट इफेक्ट्स. हम 12th स्टैंडर्ड में भी पढ़ चुके हैं कि बहुत सारे इफेक्ट्स होते हैं, इंडक्टिव इफेक्ट होते हैं, मेसोमेरिक इफेक्ट होते हैं, फील्ड इफेक्ट होते हैं. सो इनका भी इम्पैक्ट कैसे पड़ता है उसको हम यहाँ पर एक बार डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ एल्किल ग्रुप, हम जानते हैं जितने भी एल्किल ग्रुप्स होते हैं वो प्लस आई इफेक्ट कॉज करते हैं, राइट? सो द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ एल्किल ग्रुप कॉजेज प्लस आई इफेक्ट विच रिजल्ट्स इन द लेंथनिंग और वीकनिंग ऑफ द बॉन्ड। तो जैसे ही एल्किल ग्रुप का इंट्रोडक्शन हम करेंगे, देयर वुड बी लेंथनिंग और वीकनिंग ऑफ द बॉन्ड, hence the force constant is lowered and wave number of absorption also decreases. For example, formaldehyde में अगर हम इस absorption CO absorption का रेंज देखें या वैल्यू देखें, then this is 1750 centimeter minus 1. In case of acetaldehyde, when one alkyl group has been introduced here, it is 1745 centimeter minus 1. And in acetone, when two alkyl groups are introduced here, then it becomes more, it lowers down as compared to acetaldehyde, so it is 1715 centimeter minus 1, so it is lowering down. Introduction of an electronegative atom or group which causes minus I effect results in the bond order to increase. अब यहाँ पर decrease हो रहा था, यहाँ पर increase होगा, so force constant भी increase करेगा और wave number of absorption भी increase करेगा. Mesomeric effect क्या होता है? So it is related to resonance, right? So it causes lengthening or weakening of a bond, leading in the lowering of absorption frequency. तो mesomeric effect भी lower down कर देता है. So अगर यहाँ पर इस ग्रुप को देखें, यहाँ पर भी mesomeric effect पाया जा रहा है, यहाँ पर भी mesomeric effect पाया जा रहा है. So इन दोनों केसेस को अगर हम ऑब्जर्व करें तो यहाँ पर NH2 ग्रुप है और यहाँ पर CO ग्रुप है. So नाइट्रोजन क्या होता है? It is less electronegative than oxygen. So the electron pair on nitrogen atom in amide is more labile, that it can break and participates more in conjugation. इसका conjugation में ज़्यादा involvement हो सकता है as compared to esters. So due to this greater degree of conjugation, the CO absorption frequency is much less in amides. So this absorption frequency is much less in amides. So amides में कम होती है जबकि इसमें ज़्यादा होती है. फील्ड इफेक्ट भी होता है, जैसे यहाँ पर हम देखेंगे तो एक COCH3 ग्रुप है और एक हेलोजन ग्रुप भी है. सो इन ऑर्थो सब्सटीट्यूटेड कंपाउंड्स यानी 1-2 पोजीशन पे जब दो ग्रुप्स हैं, द लोन पेयर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ऑन टू एटम्स इन्फ्लुएंस ईच अदर थ्रू स्पेस इंटरेक्शंस एंड चेंज द वाइब्रेशनल फ्रीक्वेंसीज ऑफ बोथ द ग्रुप्स एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड फील्ड इफेक्ट. तो और ये एब्रीविएटेड टेबल है जो डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिक ग्रुप्स की ग्रुप फ्रीक्वेंसीज यानी एब्जॉर्प्शन फ्रीक्वेंसीज को शो कर रहा है. सो this table gives you an idea that what are the frequency ranges and intensity of different compounds. For example, here you can see that in case of alkanes, CH bond, these are the stretching vibrations. So frequency range is 2850 to 2970, and this is the intensity is strong. Similarly, in alkenes, the range is 3010 to 3095, 675 to 995. So in that way, there are two intensity ranges, medium and strong. This represents CH, stretching vibration in case of alkenes. Similarly, you can see that there are various functional groups also, and for these functional groups various frequency ranges have been given, and the intensity, wide intensity ranges have already been given here. So this table gives us an idea that how we can identify different ranges, different absorption frequency ranges of functional groups, and then accordingly we can take an idea that which functional groups are present in particular compound or not on the basis of IR spectra. Fingerprint region we have already discussed earlier. Let us have a look on it once again. One of the most important functions of the infrared spectroscopy is to determine the identity of two compounds. Two identical compounds having exactly the same spectra when run in the same medium under identical conditions. Now the region below 1500 centimeter minus 1 is rich in many absorptions which are caused by bending vibrations and those resulting vibrations of CC, CO and CN bonds, right? So 1500 centimeter minus 1 के below बहुत सारे bending vibrations होते हैं और कार्बन 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 ऑक्सीजन कार्बन नाइट्रोजन सिंगल बॉन्डेड स्ट्रेचिंग वाइब्रेशंस हो सकते हैं. और स्पेक्ट्रम में अगर हम देखें तो नंबर ऑफ बेंडिंग वाइब्रेशंस इज यूजुअली मोर देन द नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेचिंग वाइब्रेशंस, एंड दिस रीजन इन which is rich in absorption bands and it is known as fingerprint region. कुछ कंपाउंड्स, कुछ मॉलिक्यूल्स ऐसे होते हैं जिनमें फंक्शनल ग्रुप अगर सेम होते हैं तो 1500 सेंटीमीटर माइनस 1 के ऊपर तो वो बिल्कुल सेम स्पेक्ट्रा शो करते हैं, बट उनका स्पेक्ट्रा जो है फिंगरप्रिंट रीजन में डिफर कर जाता है। इसीलिए फिंगरप्रिंट रीजन में हम ऐसे कंपाउंड जिनमें सिमिलर फंक्शनल ग्रुप्स होते हैं, जिनको हम फंक्शनल ग्रुप्स रीजन में आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पाते, उनको फिंगरप्रिंट रीजन में उनके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर्स को, स्ट्रक्चरल फीचर्स को हम देख पाते हैं। The identity of an unknown compound can be revealed by comparing its infrared spectrum with a set of spectra of known compounds under chemical identical conditions, right? तो फिंगरप्रिंट रीजन की अगर हम बात करें, उसको भी हम लोग 3 रेंजेस में डिफाइन कर सकते हैं। जैसे पहला हो गया 1500 to 1350 या 1350 to 1000 and below 1000. So region 1500 to 1350 centimeter minus 1, here we can see that the appearance of a doublet near 1380 centimeter minus 1 and 1365 centimeter minus 1 shows presence of tertiary butyl group in the compound. अगर जेम डाइमेथिल ग्रुप्स हैं तो दे शो अ मीडियम बैंड नियर 1380 centimeter minus 1. Out of the 2 strong bands for nitro compounds, one appears in the fingerprint region near 1350 centimeter minus 1. Similarly, between the range 1350 to 1000 centimeter minus 1, all classes of compounds like alcohols, esters, acetones, right? So these show characteristic absorption in this region due to CO stretching, right? Primary alcohols form 2 strong bands at 1350 to 1260 centimeter minus 1 and near 1050 centimeter minus 1, and then phenols absorb near 1200 centimeter minus 1. Esters show 2 strong bands between 1380 to 1050 centimeter minus 1. And below 1500 centimeter minus 1s, we can see that the presence of mono substitution and also di substitution at ortho and para positions in benzene are detected by most characteristic absorptions in this region, right? So a band in the region 750 to 700 centimeter minus 1 shows mono substituted benzene, right? So in this way we can see different characteristic frequencies are there on the basis of which we can identify the structure of compound. Though it is not an easy task because the spectrum that we obtain is quite complex, and we can give a kind of a prediction for the structure of the compound, but for functional group detection it is very helpful. So absorption in the fingerprint region is characteristic of the molecule as a whole. The region finds widespread use for identification purpose by comparison with library spectra. So this, you can see that the library of different functional groups lies here. So whenever you try to identify the structure of any compound, so you can see that it may be divided. You can consider the 3000 centimeter minus 1 range, and then you can divide it into 3 part, above 3000, then 3000 to 2000 to 1500 ranges. In that way different regions may be divided, and above 3000 you can see there are OH, NH, CH, right? Stretching vibrations above 3000, and then below 3000 and 3000 to you can say that 2000 centimeter minus 1 you will get CNO stretching vibrations, right? And between 2000 to 1500 you will get doubly bonded. So here triple bonded, then double bonded, C double bond N, C double bond C, C double bond O, and so on. And below 1500 you will find CC, CO, CN bending and stretching vibrations. So this gives you an idea of different library spectra and the functional groups that are present, that may be present in the unknown compounds. So the fingerprint region is important because each different compound produces its own unique pattern of peaks, right? जैसे 2 persons के फिंगरप्रिंट रीजन डिफर करते हैं, बिल्कुल वैसे ही 2 कंपाउंड्स के फिंगरप्रिंट रीजन भी डिफर करते हैं. उसमें ज़रा सा भी डिफरेंस होता है तो वो फिंगरप्रिंट रीजन से डिटेक्ट हो जाता है. So once you think you have identified an unknown compound, you can compare its IR spectrum with that of a known sample of the compound. एक बार आप किसी भी स्ट्रक्चर को आइडेंटिफाई करते, प्रेडिक्ट करते और उसको नोन सैम्पल से डिटेक्ट करेंगे, कंपेयर करेंगे, एंड देन अकॉर्डिंगली यू कैन गेट दी approval, or you can conclude for the structure of the compound. If all peaks in the fingerprint region match, you have identified your compound. For example, you can compare the IR spectra of propanol 1 and propanol 2. So here you can see both spectra are quite similar in the functional group region, but their absorption patterns in the fingerprint region are completely different. So here you can see this is the functional group region, but here they differ. In the fingerprint region they differ, right? This is propanol 2 and this is propanol 1, right? So you can see that OH absorption frequency range is different. So here when we find that there are two functional groups, both the functional groups are same in both the compounds, then the identification can be done in the fingerprint region. This is the IR spectrum of alkyl halide, right? So here what we can predict that alkyl halides are compounds that have a CX bond, right? Carbon halogen bond, where X is the halogen atom. So here bromine atom is present. So in general, CX vibration frequencies appear in the range of 850 to 515 centimeter minus 1, but here you can see that CH stretching vibration ranges have been given. So CX stretch vibration is here, yeah, right? So here you can see that this is CH wagging and this is CH stretching, 297 to 2940, right? So these are two different ranges of CH stretching vibrations. As you can see, these are not specific to alkyl halides, but this is related to 1-bromopropane, right? So this CH wagging is seen only in terminal alkyl halide. So here this is terminal alkyl halide. At 651 centimeter minus 1, this is you can see that CBr stretching vibration is here, right? So the range between 850 to 550 centimeter minus 1 we can find, or 690 to 515 centimeter minus 1 we can find CBr, right? CCl stretching vibration we can observe between 850 to 550, and CBr stretching vibrations we can observe between 690 to 515 centimeter minus 1. So this is an IR spectrum of 1-bromopropane. When we talk about the aldehydes, you can see that the carbonyl stretch of saturated aliphatic aldehydes appears from 1740 to 1720 centimeter minus 1, right? So this band shows CH double bond O stretch between 2832 to 2695 centimeter minus 1. Here you can see. So these are CH stretching vibrations, and CH stretching vibrations wherein we can have CO group as well. So CH stretching vibrations, these are the characteristic frequency ranges which lie between 2830 to 2695 centimeter minus 1. And for CO, you can see in case of aliphatic aldehyde, it ranges between 1740 to 1720 centimeter minus 1. So if this peak we observe here, right? So this is the shoulder and this is the peak. So here this band shows the absorption just because of the presence of CO stretching vibrations, right? So this is an example of IR spectrum of aldehyde. Similarly, we can have a look at IR spectrum of ketones. Here what we can see that we can summarize the IR spectrum that CO stretching vibrations in case of aliphatic amines, ketones may be observed in the range of 1715. So this band shows 1715. Frequency range shows C double bond O stretch vibration, wherein in alpha beta unsaturated compounds it is between 1685 to 1667 centimeter minus 1, right? But here we can have some observation of CH stretching vibrations in the range of 2991 centimeter minus 1, right? So this is an example of IR spectrum of ketones. Lastly, we can also consider IR spectrum of alcohols, right? So OH stretch hydrogen bonded stretching frequencies range from 3500 to 3200 centimeter minus 1, right? So here you can see that CO stretch vibrations ranges are 1260 to 1050 centimeter minus 1. So this is CO stretches, and this strong band represents OH stretching vibration, right? So OH stretching vibration appears in the range of 3500 to 3200 centimeter minus 1, and this is CH stretching vibration with the range is 2961, right? So this is an example of IR spectrum of alcohol, right? So what we have observed that this IR spectroscopy may be applied in various applications. The first one is identification of an unknown compound. Even we can determine the purity of any compound. Identification of functional groups in organic molecules, right? Elucidation of structure, shape of molecule, we can have a distinguishment between intra and intermolecular hydrogen bonding. then we can determine the force constant from a vibrational spectrum, and then analysis of a mixture of aromatic hydrocarbons can also be done. For example, if someone asks you that how will you distinguish between 1-butyne and 2-butyne on the basis of IR spectroscopy, then you must have a clarity that in butyne there is an acetylenic hydrogen, therefore triple bond CH stretching around 3320 centimeter minus 1 will be present, which would be absent in 2-butyne, right? So this acetylenic hydrogen is present in case of 1-butyne, and this stretching vibration occurs at 3320 centimeter minus 1 in case of 1-butyne, while in case of 2-butyne it would be absent. How will you distinguish the following by IR spectroscopy? Carboxylic acids and esters, right? So we know that in case of carboxylic acids, the presence of OH group is there, but in esters there isn't presence of OH group. So OH absorption frequency range in case of carboxylic acids is 2500 to 3000 centimeter minus 1. So this is the peculiar feature which gives us an idea for distinguishing carboxylic acids from the esters. Ketones and esters are distinguished from each other, as the ester molecules show two strong CO stretching bands in the 1050 to 1300 centimeter minus 1 range. So this is all about infrared spectroscopy.